Okay, here we go. Assalamu alaikum. If you guys can hear me, just type into the chat box that you can hear me. Okay, great. It is finally working. So first of all, I wanted to apologize about last time because we had some technical difficulties, but alhamdulillah, we are live. And this time everything is working. We're back in Dubai. So who's all on here? We have Fajr, we have Nazmoon, Hani, Arif, Nazmoon, Sana, Usman, Shitab, Sayyid, Jilani, Sohail, Aiza, Khalid, Muhammad, Bilal, Zubair, Miriam, MD, Sahil. Welcome. Assalamu alaikum, guys, and welcome. So where are you guys all tuning in from right now? If you can just type into the chat box which city or where you're tuning into the webinar from. UK, India, San Diego, mashallah. Hyderabad, Edmonton, mashallah, fellow Canadian. So I'm actually a Canadian as well, Usman. Dhaka, Indonesia, Pakistan, India, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Lahore. Alhamdulillah, this is awesome. So you guys are Jammu and Kashmir. Wow, mashallah. Algeria, India, amazing. Welcome. Assalamu alaikum. And I'm Macedonia. Wow, amazing. I'm really proud and honored to be on the webinar with you guys right now. And we will get started in basically a few minutes. And I just wanted to basically go over some quick details with you guys. So this webinar is something that we put together because we wanted to create some kind of framework that anyone can use to send their parents to Umrah or Hajj, whatever is that they haven't done, inshallah. And so, you know, a lot of you are tuning in from all around the world, and the one common thing that connects us all is, or the two common things is, one is that our religion of Islam is what is connecting us and bringing us together at this time. So this is a blessed experience and occurrence that is happening from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And He is the one who is giving us the opportunity to connect with each other and share our knowledge and education in order to help each other achieve some of the desires that we have. And for instance, the second big common denominator is that we all have a desire to send our parents to Umrah. If you agree with me, type into the chat box, yes. And this is a big desire. You know, all of us have a desire to send our parents for Umrah. And this is one thing that I can, alhamdulillah, say to you all, is that your parents are blessed, amazing people. You know, may Allah bless every single one of them in good health and in long life and in happiness and in the deen, because you are here on this webinar so you can learn how to contribute to your parents' happiness. And we are taught in Islam that paradise is found under the feet of your mother. And so you desiring to send your parents to Umrah or Hajj is one of the ways that you are almost seeking your own. You know, you are trying to do something that is every child, every Muslim, every youth, young or old, has a desire to do. And I want to commend you all and congratulate you all for having these good intentions and having a pure heart, and for knowing that your parents raised good children, you know, that are on the deen and desire to do good things like you are here today with us. You know, it's a big blessing for myself as well to be on this webinar with you guys and to share some of this stuff, because it's not every day that we get to sit with people internationally around the world on the internet and discuss how we can do something that is one of the most pleasing things, not only to Allah, but to our parents and to ourselves. I personally have gone to Hajj with my mother, my parents. I have gone for around 20 Umrahs myself. And alhamdulillah, each experience is better than the next. you know, and it brings you closer and closer to Allah. And it's one of the most amazing things that I can ever experience or witness and share with you all as well. Just by some of the messages in here, who here has been to Umrah before or been to Hajj before? Just type into the chat box. Whether your parents have gone or not, you know, whether you have been or not, just type into the chat box if you've been to Umrah before or Hajj. So Nazmun said, not yet. Aiza said, I've been trying to visit all my life. Sana said, not yet. MD said no. Fajr said no. So inshallah, you being here and us being here is a sign from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He wants you to go for Umrah alongside your parents. You know, and this is one of the most amazing things. This is a small sign. If you haven't gone yet and you're making the intention to go, this is the first step. And you make the intention to go, it's a very powerful thing. Allah rewards intention. And you get the same amount of good deeds and benefits from making clear intentions on what it is that you ultimately want to do. And so you are sharing in the reward. So at the end of this webinar, we'll begin now, inshallah. At the end of this webinar, we will tell you how you can win the Umrah trip. And this webinar, we had over 1,200 registrants to attend this webinar. Currently, right now, there's not even 100 live with us from all around the world. And so this makes it a little bit more difficult for us to properly execute this. So what is going to happen is that we are going to send the replays. We're recording this webinar right now. We're going to send the replays to our entire list of 1,200 plus registrants who registered for the webinar so that they can get a chance to actually view it and watch the webinar as well. And what happens is that, you know, all of you are from all over the world. So we're on multiple different time zones. Some people are in Asia, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh. Some people are in the US and Canada. Some people are in the UK and Europe. And so we have people from all over the world in all these different time zones. And it may be late for some people who can attend. Kamrun is from Australia as well, yes. So it may be late for some people to attend from these different time zones. And it makes it a bit more difficult, maybe morning or early night or whatever it is for them. So we're going to send the replays out. And for the next 10 days, until July 10th, we will be sending the replays out and giving everybody a proper chance so that they can go through all the information. And inshallah, they can get a chance to digest and consume everything that we've put together on this webinar for everybody. So we request you, those of you who are with us, to stay until the end, inshallah, and don't miss your chance to win and get entered into the chance to win. So basically, at the end of each replay that we're going to send out in the emails, we will have a form that you will fill out. The form will be emailed to you or sent to you, and you can fill it out. And those people will only get the form if they stay to the end of the webinar or they watch the replays to the end. And then, inshallah, you will have an opportunity to enter into the draw. And then July 10th, we will pick the winner live. We will put all your names into a jar. And inshallah, inside that jar, we will pick the winner live. We will do it on video. So there's no misinterpretation of anyone or anything like that. And then after that, we will communicate with the winner over the phone. I will be making a personal call myself, inshallah, and then we will discuss exactly which country you're from and some of the timings and challenges and things like that to actually send your parents to Umrah, inshallah. So I'll begin. We will cover an introduction about HabibiCoin, and then we will discuss an amazing way to send your parents to Umrah. And I knew that going into this, when we were doing the webinar, there was no way that, you know, we can award every single person with sending their parents to Umrah. And so it becomes a little bit more challenging. And at the end of the day, whoever will be the winner. You know, it's not in my hands and it's not in anyone else's hands. It is all from Allah. And whoever Allah chooses to become the winner, inshallah, this is your destiny. This is your time. Allah is calling you to His house. And inshallah, for the rest of you, I was sad in the fact that, you know, all of you are tuning in from around the world from this webinar. We had over 1,200 registrants. And, you know, what could we give to everybody in the form of value, in the form of education that would allow each person to get a few steps closer to sending their parents to Umrah or attending Umrah themselves. And so this is why we put together this presentation. This is why we're putting this much effort into educating you guys on the proper channels and ways that you can go about doing this, and you can make it a reality for you. We have a goal, and our goal is that we want to help send 1,000 people, people's parents to Umrah. So this is not a small thing. This is, you know, we're pretty much as big as a tour company ourselves, sending 1,000 people. It's not a small thing, but inshallah, you know, with the will of Allah and the help of Allah, we should be able to accomplish this. And the first step in accomplishing this is basically the education needed in order for someone to understand exactly how they can begin planning to send themselves and their parents to Umrah. And so we'll dive right in. I'm going to jump into slide 2 here. How to send your parents to Umrah. So we're basically setting up a 10-person team, and we call it the SIPTU team. SIPTU is basically an acronym for Send Your Parents to Umrah. And so this is a 10-person team that we've put together. And this team is the one who's creating the system and process that we're going to share with you all, and is going to be helping you and coaching you and mentoring you and assisting you in the ways that we've put together in order for you to realize your dream. You know, our dream is to send 1,000 parents to Umrah. Your dream is to send your parents to Umrah. And together, when we support each other in our dreams, inshallah, Allah makes them a reality. So every Muslim has a wish to send their parents for Umrah or Hajj. You know, I know when I was a small child growing up, you know, I told my parents, one day I'm going to be successful. You know, I'm going to make a lot of money. You know, and I'm going to buy you a nice house, and I'm going to buy you a nice car, and all these things. And what I desired for my parents was not the same thing as what my parents desired for themselves. So if my dream was to be financially successful so that I can spend money on my parents, if I was to take that same money and instead of buying the house or car, give it to my parents, they would probably do something different with that money. You know, they may not buy the house and car. They may take care of their family. They may provide for the poor and needy. They may give in sadaqah, in charity. They may take a trip to Hajj and Umrah. But I do know one thing, that every young Muslim desires to send their parents to Hajj or Umrah. This is a farz, this is obligatory upon us as one of the pillars of Islam. And so our parents may not necessarily do the same thing with the money that we would do, but we do know that if we sent parents to Umrah, they would be happy. You know, they would be overjoyed at the fact that their children, you know, decided to do this and made it a reality for them, because it is every single Muslim's dream, whether young or old, in order to be able to do this. And so your parents may decide that, you know, this is the greatest gift that they could ever receive. And you, as a son or daughter, knows that, you know, this is something that you would want to give as well, and you would want to make a reality. So the youth these days, I come across, you know, I speak at events all across the world. You know, I have multiple companies and I meet people all across the world. And the youth that I meet these days are confused. They are misguided. They are lost. They're looking for guidance. They're looking for help. They're looking for support. They're looking for mentors. They're looking for people who can understand them, you know, and their unique challenges and problems in today's society. And so the youth especially, they may not be fully religious yet, but when it comes to their parents, they try their best. When it comes to servicing their parents, they try their best. When it comes to making sure their parents are happy, they try their best. Their parents always tell them, follow the religion, follow Islam, pray your prayers, read your Quran, you know, and things like that. And yet they may not do all of these activities as consistently as we all should, but they try. You know, they definitely try, and they have good hearts, and they're seeking guidance and help. And so it's one clear thing that the parents who raise them are good parents if they can send, if they can have the Islam in the child's heart, if in the child's heart and they desire to do these religious things, then the parents have done a great job. You know, and whether that child goes through challenges in life or strays away from the deen and the religion, eventually, as they get older and they mature, they come back to what's in their heart and what their parents educated them and put into their heart. And so the youth are a great example of people who are distracted and misguided by all the things in the world, like entertainment and people, places, and things. But at the end of the day, their hearts are built around what their parents taught them. And so why this contest and why HabibiCoin? What is HabibiCoin essentially? You know, why are we doing this? What is our motive behind this? You know, why are we here? So I'm going to get into that a little bit more. HabibiCoin, what it is and what it does and who it is for, and to educate you and provide you with an opportunity inside of HabibiCoin. So HabibiCoin, just a quick comment. If any of you have done anything with blockchain technology or cryptocurrency, if you have, please type into the chat box. If you've done anything with cryptocurrency or blockchain, just type into the chat box if you have, yes or no. Awesome. So some of you have, some of you haven't, most of you haven't. And so this is the new technological revolution that we're living in. And in this space, there's a lot of different opportunities. You know, you could be trading, you can be investing, you can create your own currency, you can attend events, you can use the currency as a utility to buy, you can use it as a security in the in cryptocurrency, and I made some money out of it, but I didn't control the process. You know, we didn't have the ability to fill in some of the voids and gaps for the Muslims inside of cryptocurrency, because the ulama and the scholars, they have mixed opinions about this. You know, and half the Muslim world doesn't think it's a credible thing to invest into from the cryptocurrency standpoint. Everybody is very favorable towards blockchain technology and how it's changing and improving the world. But some people are not, and some people have mixed opinions. The other half of the ulama and the scholars have a positive outlook on it. They consider it as halal as anything else. It's built around a public consensus and trust. We're getting some audio distortion here, guys. Give me 1 sec. Okay, there you go. It's fixed. All right, so half of the ulama think that cryptocurrency is great. And the challenge is that, you know, what does a currency do? How does it improve the world? What does it fix? You know, sometimes it's just a store of value. Sometimes it is, you know, I went to my mother actually, and I told her what cryptocurrency is, and I showed her some of the trading on the market and things like that. And she laughed at me and she said, this is, in her words, ye jua hai. Basically, this is gambling. You know, this is gambling. You guys are investing into something that is so volatile and you're speculating, and the volatility is absolutely through the roof, you know, and it's dependent. We're talking about cryptocurrency, and I was talking about how, you know, some of the scholars view it as permissible and some scholars view it as non-permissible. There's mixed reviews and opinions on this, but inshallah, if you do your own research and you go through it thoroughly and you look up anything related to Islamic finance and Sharia compliance when it comes to Islamic finance, you should be able to understand what makes it permissible and what does not make it permissible. There are some cryptocurrencies that you should not be investing into because these provide the utility use or purchase or exchange or support of illicit things, illegal things, for instance, like alcohol and tobacco and you know, and different things like that that are not permissible in Islam. And then there's other cryptocurrencies that do provide some solutions, and they're backed by real assets, because the biggest drawback is that it's not backed by any real hard tangible asset. And so you have the valuation of cryptocurrencies going up and down. You know, the fact that they're going up and down is because it's just traders and it's public consensus of what they feel the price should be. And it's not pegged to any real value like gold or real estate or different things like that that would actually protect the value and keep it intact. So that being said, you have to be very careful when it comes to cryptocurrency, what you're investing into. And you have to make sure that the company itself that is running or launching the currency is investing into halal things and that are not mixed in with any other kind of non-halal or haram activities. And so that's the first thing. So you have to keep that in mind, essentially. So HabibiCoin is a real estate backed cryptocurrency. And so we were talking about cryptocurrencies and them being halal and you finding the right way to invest into them. This is something that I highly encourage every single one of you to study and to take some time to invest a little bit into getting some more education around cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. So HabibiCoin is backed by real estate, and the real estate gives it some actual backing so that there's a floor price. It doesn't go below the price of what the real estate assets that are backing it are valued at. So as an example, if I have a home and the home is worth, you know, 100,000 and there's that much worth of cryptocurrency in the market, the price can't go below what the home is valued at. And so it backs it with a hard tangible asset that keeps it protected from volatility, from extreme price swings, from manipulation and things like that that are rampant all over different cryptocurrencies around the world, especially with things like Bitcoin and things like that. And so HabibiCoin also, its bread and butter is that it's the world's first construction investment trust. In places like Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, you know, places like Asia and stuff like that, the mortgage system is not something that's very big. So it's a cash society. People buy their homes with cash, or if they can't afford to buy the home with cash, they rent. In places like the first world nations like Canada, US, UK, Australia, there's a big mortgage system. And so people borrow from the banks and they basically invest into buying a home through the bank lending the money. And the bank charges a huge amount of interest on those loans. And that interest in Islam, it's haram. It's not acceptable. You shouldn't be giving interest. You shouldn't be accepting it or receiving it or giving it generally. And so there's Sharia compliant mortgages and Sharia compliant finance options. But for most Muslims around the world, they're more confusing and they're more expensive than the general options that are out there. And that's why people who are honest, good working, hard working, ethical, good people, they opt to take a interest bearing mortgage as opposed to an Islamic mortgage because they can't afford it. And Islamic mortgages are essentially more expensive. So HabibiCoin is going a little bit deeper into the real estate niche instead of just real estate investing. And everybody in Asia, India, Pakistan, and all these places in Asia, generally, our real estate is their biggest investment. You know, it's something that everybody wants. They want a home and they want to own a home free and clear for them and their families to have some shelter. And their home is their biggest asset. It's the most expensive thing that they own or that they purchase in their entire life. And so HabibiCoin, first of all, I wanted to give you guys a breakdown of how our construction model works. We're here in Dubai. And in Dubai, if any of you have ever been to Dubai, it's full of construction. There's so much construction going on here in Dubai. They're building the entire emirate up with so much different construction, from high-rise towers to commercial malls and complexes to the world's tallest building to all kinds of villa construction and homes and things like that. Construction is one of the biggest booming industries here in Dubai. HabibiCoin itself is just to share with you the compliance status, the Sharia compliance status, and who is issuing the fatwa. So right now we're in the process of having our Sharia compliant audit done. We didn't just want to be another coin on the market as well. We wanted to provide a real Sharia compliant solution to our audience out there so that we're following the faith-based guidelines that are out there for us, and other Muslims are comfortable investing into HabibiCoin and being a part of the Habibi community. And so our Sharia compliance, we actually have a head of Sharia compliance. His name is Mufti Muhammad Abu Bakr. And Mufti Muhammad Abu Bakr is one of the foremost Islamic Sharia compliance and finance experts in the world. He used to work for a company called Blossom Finance. Now he works for HabibiCoin. He's actually our head of Sharia compliance. While he was working for Blossom Finance, he wrote an article. And the article was talking about the permissibility of Bitcoin being halal as an investment. And his article got shared on other sites like Cointelegraph and a bunch of other sites out there. And what had happened was one of the most amazing things in the world is Bitcoin's value jumped by 17% within 24 hours of that article being released, because the Muslim population, which is over 2 billion people around the world, there's 7.6 billion people in the world, and over 2 billion are Muslims. The Muslims basically got to see that article and go through what was written inside that article, and they started investing into Bitcoin, and the price jumped by 17%. Bitcoin's total market cap is over 100 billion. So when you do the numbers, you know, the cryptocurrency grew by over 17 billion in value, which is absolutely amazing. It goes to show how much the Muslim world has the ability to invest into different things and investments. And they're looking for halal investments, and they're looking for things that are Sharia compliant, and they're looking for things that, you know, they can feel comfortable with investing into. And so Mufti Muhammad Abu Bakr has issued over 400 fatwas around Sharia compliant products and services in the world. And now he is our head of Sharia compliant for HabibiCoin. He is completing the audit by July 10th. And inshallah, we should have our fatwa issued probably around July 11th. So HabibiCoin will be a fully Sharia compliant solution with our fatwa issued and meeting all the guidelines of the Islamic world when it comes to investing and as a cryptocurrency and as a blockchain solution. So we just wanted to share that with you guys a little bit. How can HabibiCoin help Muslims send their parents to Umrah? And we as a community obviously have a goal, a very lofty goal of wanting to send 1,000 parents to Umrah. At the same time, you know, we've created our 10-person campaign, our SIP2 team, which is Send Your Parents to Umrah team, and a campaign of sending 1,000 parents to Umrah or Hajj if they've already done Umrah. And so HabibiCoin wants to help you in two ways. And the first way is that we all need education on how we can go about accomplishing this goal that we all have and this desire that we have. It is a pure desire. It is a good desire. It is a clean, good intention. And we all obviously want to send our parents to Umrah. And so it's good to have these desires. But if you don't have a plan of action, if you don't have some education on how to make this plan or desire a reality, it's just a hope or a wish, and it doesn't become a goal. It doesn't become a dream or a mission, and you can't make it a reality. So HabibiCoin wishes to help with the education side of things and as well as the financial side of things. And I'm going to get a little bit more into that now. So let's discuss the requirements you will need and how we can all help each other do it. This is a community effort. This is not you doing it on your own or us doing it on our own. It is us working together to help each other accomplish this dream that we all have. And so the first step is the finances. If I'm correct, then most of you would have already sent your parents to Umrah or Hajj if you had the money. And if I'm correct, just type into the chat box yes or no. If you had the money, you would send your parents to Umrah. Am I correct? Okay, very simple. Now, the reason we don't have the money, there's many reasons. There is a lack of financial opportunity. There's a lack of jobs. There's a lack of earning income. Maybe we're in school at the moment. Financial problems or debts that the family is going through, or financial challenges, financial illiteracy, because this stuff is not taught in schools. You know, in your schools, you won't find the teacher financially successful. If the teacher was extremely financially successful, likely they would not be teaching in the school to earn an income. They would be out there doing something with their wealth. And so financial literacy is not taught in schools. You know, your teacher cannot teach you how to be rich or wealthy or successful because your teacher has not accomplished it themselves. There's no curriculums built around teaching this stuff in schools. There's no academic institutions that focus on these type of things. School is an area where you go to learn to develop a bunch of skills where you can pick one hard skill and build a career out of. But they rarely ever teach you, once you become successful in your career, what do you do with the money? How do you make more money or manage money? How do you manage a bank account or manage a credit card? How do you transact online? How do you, save or invest your money? None of this stuff is taught in school. And for the most part, our parents grew up in or out of an education system. They did not have the same equal education opportunities as we do today as youngsters. We have a lot more opportunities to educate ourselves. We have the internet, we have schools, we have mentors and teachers and all these different things, people that we can look up to and things like that. Our parents, though, they grew up in a different generation, in a different time. And our parents did not have the same opportunities as we do today. But if you look at what they learned as well, they also were not taught financial literacy. They were not taught how to manage money or finances. They learned this stuff through their life experiences, and they generally worked very hard to build the home and the families and to provide for their kids and to provide for what we have today and to give us these opportunities of educating ourselves and things like that today. So finances is the first step. Planning of how to get the finances. And in order to understand this, we need to measure the cost. Each trip has a unique budget because it varies by country, by time of year, and by the packages of Umrah or Hajj picked. And so you have someone coming from India or Pakistan, the price and cost is different. Someone coming from Australia or USA or Canada, the price is different. And so the first step is in understanding the finances that are required in order for you to send your parents to Umrah from your unique country and your unique city, and then picking the time of year that you can actually go and do this, because we know that during Ramadan, it is very expensive and very crowded to send your parents or to even attend Umrah yourself. During Hajj, it is extremely crowded and very expensive. During these times, I've actually been to Umrah in the last 10 days of Ramadan a few years back, and the hotels around Mecca, they increased their prices. They knew there were a lot of people coming for Ramadan, for Eid, and for the last 10 days, and so they doubled and tripled their prices. And so you can kind of see how there's a supply and demand, and how the time of year is very important, because that can end up costing you twice as much money as it would cost you at a time of year where it's not busy. And then there's different tour groups and packages that you can pick. And certain tour groups are very luxury. They charge you a lot of money. And certain tour groups are medium to lower level luxury, and they charge you less money. They put you in a less expensive hotel, and it's cheaper actually for you to go. So Kamrul actually just typed into the chat box $6,000 to $7,000 from Australia. You see, $6,000 to $7,000 from Australia. And if you're in Pakistan or India, it's actually a lot more cheaper for you to attend. It's probably 1/3, if not cheaper, of the price for you to attend in a package for you to go to Umrah. So it varies country by country. So we need to get our finances in order. We need to understand, how much this trip is going to cost for us uniquely. And then it also varies if, you have more people coming with you. If it's just you and your parents, or if it's just your parents, or if it's you, your parents, your brother and sister, obviously this adds to the cost. And so you have to budget accordingly. The second step is planning. When will your parents go? With who? What dates or time of year? And the roadmap of how you would spend your time there. And see, so these are the prices we're getting. Kamrul is saying 6,000 to 7,000 from Australia, 100,000 to 150,000 rupees from India, 3,000 to 4,000 dollars from Indonesia. And so see, the prices vary completely from where you are. But the second step, first step is finances. The second step is planning. You have to have some proper planning on how you're going to go about achieving this and a roadmap of how you're going to achieve this. And so inside that planning, it's who will all go, you know, your parents as well, what dates or time of year, and the roadmap of how you're going to spend your time there. Because once you get there, you go to Mecca and you do your initial Umrah. And then usually people end up going to Medina for a few days, and they spend time in Medina. And Medina is a very peaceful city, and it's a very peaceful place. And it's not the same rush and crowds and stuff as Mecca is. And so generally you want to plan out, you know, how much time am I going to spend in Mecca? How much time am I going to spend in Medina? And then have a roadmap for your trip. So you have your finances in place, and then step two, you have your planning, and you know exactly how you're going to spend your trip. And then we'll go to step three. And step three is a very simple process. And most people, they will overlook this and they think it's not important, but it's very important. It's goal writing in a dua system. So if you want something in life, pray for it. And if you want something in life, work for it. And so one of the processes that we put together for you guys is basically a very simple goal writing and dua system, is that you can write down your goal, which is every day you can write down, hey, you know, I will send my parents to Umrah. And you can make a dua after every prayer that I will send my parents to Umrah. And the more you start to actively do this, the more you become a magnet that attracts the people, places, and opportunity, finances, and planning that you need in order for you to achieve this goal that you have. And so it's very important for you to write your goals down and make sure you have a dua system. And you guys are absolutely right. Best time to go. There's many best times. It depends on what the cost is at that time. Sometimes the absolute best time to go is in Ramadan. The last 10 days of Ramadan are very, very spiritual time. Hajj obviously is the best time to go and things like that. But if you want to have a cheaper experience where it doesn't cost you as much, because during those times, the price for hotels and all of these different things are through the roof. It's very expensive. And so after Hajj, where it dies down a little bit, that's one of the best times to go, because it's less rush, it's less expensive, and it's a lot easier for you to have a good experience while you're there. So step three is goal writing and dua system, and we'll share a lot of this stuff with you guys in email on exactly how to write your goals and how to make your duas so that you can attract the ability to do this a lot quicker. Then there's the community process. So we're creating a community that consists of people who want the same thing as you. And the one common thing that connects us is not only Islam, but the desire to send our parents for Hajj and Umrah. And so we'll be creating a campaign with campaign awareness. We'll be sharing our knowledge, our resources, and our collective intelligence will be shared. And so when you want to send your parents to Umrah and you're one person and you're alone and you're in debt and you have financial problems and you're struggling through school and having all these challenges, you're one person and you're alone. When you're mixed in with a community of other people who may have the same problems and challenges as you, but the same desires, dreams, and hopes as well, and you start to support each other, you start to share your knowledge, you start to share your resources, you provide opportunities to earn income that will get you closer to your goals. And then what it does is it creates a community. And communities, when they support each other, they end up achieving the goals that they try to achieve in life. So a support community and a coach is something that we want to help provide you guys. So you have a map with you for the exact plans to send your parents to Umrah, and we discuss the finances, the planning, the daily duas and the goal writing and things like that you can start to do. And then we'll also provide you with a resource guide. And the resource guide is basically a fill in the blanks question guide for you to build your full roadmap of how you would do this. I'm briefly going over the points here on this webinar, but in email, we will send you the guide. And when you get the guide, you can start filling it in and boom, you have your plan done. So we've took the hard part, which is all the thinking, out out for you, and we've put it into a very systemized process that makes it very easy for you to fill in the blanks, have your roadmap completed and your process and your plan done, and then you're that much closer to sending your parents to Umrah, inshallah. And so we're also going to provide our community with a coach. And a coach is someone who works with you. He speaks to you on the phone, texts you on WhatsApp or wherever else, and he provides you with the support that you need that you may not find in the community. You may need support from a coach to help you or to assist you with certain things that you would need in order for you to achieve your goal. And so when you have a coach, you also have what we call accountability. It means someone is invested into you to send your parents to Umrah, and that coach wants you to make sure that you achieve that goal as much as you want to achieve that goal yourself. And that support is an extended form of support that generally you don't find in communities. You find a support community, but when you have a coach on top of that, and an individual coach for each person, this is what ensures that we're thinking about this goal all the time, and we're working towards it together. So HabibiCoin will assist with a couple of things. And we have the coaching that we're going to provide, inshallah, and then the financial planning as well. And as a form of contribution from HabibiCoin, we're going to assist with your financial plan. We're going to show you exactly how much money you need to make and what investments maybe you can make to achieve that plan, and then allow you to measure your start. So we'll measure where you are currently and where you need to go from the financial side of things in order for you to achieve your goals. HabibiCoin will also be making a contribution. So we call this our booster of $25 US dollars worth of Habibi coins to each person who wants to send their parents to Umrah and fills out our questionnaire. We're going to be giving you $25 worth of Habibi coins absolutely free. You don't have to give us anything for them. You do not have to buy them. We're giving them to you free as our booster to contribute towards your overall plan of building your dream of sending your parents to Umrah. We'll also talk a little bit about investing versus saving, and why investing is better for you to send your parents to Umrah, and life in general. You know, we've been taught to save. You know, I was mentioning that in college, university, and high school, and in schools and academic institutions, there's no education on financial literacy. They do not teach you the difference between investing and saving. And most of what we're taught in school is, and through our parents and through the books that we read and the life experiences that we have, is that we should save our money for a rainy day, for bad times. You know, and our parents, they grew up in times where they went through a lot of difficulties. And so your parents will always tell you, save your money, save your money, save your money. You know, save for a rainy day, save for this problem that you may have. You may need money in the future, so save it. Although I think that that is good advice, I think great advice is learning how to invest your money. Saving your money means you're saving it for a rainy day. When the rainy day comes, all that money is gone. Investing your money means that you're investing your money and it's generating a return for you. And that return is something that you can use to pay your life expenses, to pay for your food, shelter, your clothing, your water, to take care of your family and things like that. So the more investments I make, the more money I generate, which can then pay my life costs and take care of my family. And investments are generational wealth. They're transferable. I'll give you an example. If I invest into buying a home and I bought 3 homes, that will help give rental income that will take care of my expenses. Now let's compare that to saving. If I just save my money and it sits there, it doesn't do anything for me. And saving my money, paper currency depreciates by a value of 3% every single year. And so if I had $10, by the end of the year, I would have much less money. So it would have 3% less value. So if you had $10, you know, you would have 3% less value on that. So investing is one of the best ways that you can go about achieving the financial success that you want, and also achieving some of your goals in life, whether it's to buy a home, buy a car, or to go towards sending your parents to Umrah or whatever it is. And so the next thing is to grow your education and diversify your options. And so if you do not have a solid education and you're not educating yourselves on what you can do, then you have very limited options in life. You know, you go to school and school tells you, just one second. So you go to school, and when you're in school, you don't get to pick your subjects. You know, math, science, history, you know, art, drama, whatever these classes are, you know, they give you the menu in school. They said, this is your subjects that you can pick. And on those subjects, you have to pick whatever your classes are, and then that's it. They don't allow you to pick something that's not on the menu. They don't allow you to pick financial literacy or investing or saving or any of these type of things like starting a business or anything like that. And generally they give very little in terms of your education for the real world things that you need in life. They don't teach you how to manage a bank account. They don't teach you how to get married and take care of your family or any of these things. So you have to grow your education so that you can diversify your options, because your options in school are very slim. You know, learn this, learn that. This is the subject. This is what you have to do. This is the test, and that's it. You know, and get a good grade or you're a bad student. You know, and that's basically what they teach you in school. So it's a responsibility on each one of us to grow our education. And in Islam, it's very praised and rewarding when you spend time in learning more ilm, learning more knowledge. And so you have to grow your education. You have to diversify your options. I'm just going to pause for 1 second. Okay, I hope the audio is still working. Can you guys hear me? Just type in yes in the chat box if you can still hear me. Okay, perfect. Alhamdulillah. All right, so you have to grow your education to diversify your options so that you have more choices in life and you have more ways that you can earn an income or take care of your family. And let's look at skills as an example. If you have skills of reading and writing, then you have skills of driving a car, you have skills of maybe fixing things around the house and stuff. Each additional skill that you have gives you another opportunity to earn more income in life, to do better in life, to have more ways to provide for your family. So it's necessary upon each one of you to grow your education. And as well, grow as much as you can your financial education. You know, learn the difference between investing and saving. Learn the difference between investing and starting a business. You know, learn the difference between these things so that you have more options financially in life and you're more educated. The reason poverty is the greatest in the world and it's greatest among the countries that have the least amount of education. This is why education is such a prized thing. And you're right, Kamrul is right. He said business is sunnah, and business is sunnah. If you look at what the Prophet ﷺ used to do, he was, in addition to many other things, a businessman. If you look at the Sahaba and you look at the Khalifas of the time, they were businessmen. They were merchants. They were traders. They were business people. There's a lot of sunnah and blessing in business. There's also great in investments as well. So you need to grow your education as much as possible so you can diversify your options. The second thing is compound investing, to decrease the time to a goal. And I'll give you an example of compounding investing. It means if I invest $1 today, and then in 1 month it becomes $2, and then in 3 months it becomes $3, you know, that's one form of investing. But if I invest $1 today, and then tomorrow I add one more dollar to it, and then I add one more dollar the next day, now I'm compounding the investment. I'm growing my investment so that it's producing a bigger return. And I'll give you an example. If you invested $10 and you made a 10% return, you made $1 as a return on that $10 that you invested. And you know for every $10 that you invest, you will make another 10%. Then wouldn't it make sense to invest as many $10 as you can so that you can make more and more 1% returns, 10% returns? So if you invested $10 10 times and you made a 10% return, you would have eventually $10. So you would get a 100% return on your investment. So compound investing is something amazing, and it can decrease the time to your goal. So as an example, if I want to send my parents to Umrah, and the cost of sending my parents to Umrah is, let's say, $3,000, and I'm investing and saving money, and I'm investing money so that I can get there faster. If I compound my investment, I'll be able to make that $3,000 in much shorter time than if I'm just investing or saving. So compounding investing is something very, very profitable if you know how to do it the right way. And it's something I suggest you all get some more education on as well. The next step is to pick a starting point. So there's no right or wrong investment. There's tons of, obviously, there's haram and halal investments, but there's tons of halal investments that are different. You can invest into gold. You can invest into real estate. You can invest into cryptocurrency. You can invest into someone's business. You can invest into buying and selling food. You can invest into buying and selling sweets. You know, there's a lot of different types of businesses that you can invest into. What you have to do is pick a starting point. You have to say, I will make my first investment into something and pick whatever it is. The method could be anything. You know, you can invest into anything that you want. I'm not just saying HabibiCoin or anything like that. You can invest into gold. You can invest into buying some eggs and selling some sandwiches. You know, you can invest into buying a few chickens, you know, or some agriculture or farm animals, you know, and then selling the farm animals. You can invest into anything that you want. It's completely up to you. But what I'd like you to consider and start to do is pick a starting point and then pick an investment that you want to start in. So we'll quickly go through some of this, the coaching and the financial planning. So we're in our questionnaire that we will send you. You will have basically a roadmap that you fill in. And in the roadmap, you calculate the investment time and the returns against the goal time frame. So if my goal is that I want to send my parents for Umrah in 1 year, and I know I need $3,000 to send them for Umrah in that 1 year, so I'm calculating my investment, and I've picked my investment. I'm going to invest into gold or cryptocurrency or HabibiCoin or real estate or you know, fruits or sweets or whatever it is. I'm basically calculating my investment time and my returns, and this is going to generate this much return for me. I'm going to calculate that against my goal time frame, which is this much time. So this is how much of my activity that I have to do and to be successful at in order for me to generate that much return so that I can achieve my goal. So when we calculate our investment time and our returns against the goal time frame, a process is revealed for us. We know exactly how long it will take. Good things, worthwhile things, especially as big as sending your parents to Umrah, take time. So don't lose heart. Some people, they achieve these things in a very short amount of time. Some people achieve these things maybe at the end of their whole life. And some people achieve it faster. But the ability to achieve sending your parents to Umrah or Hajj is based on your obsession and your effort that you put in and how much patience and discipline that you have towards that goal. So the path to success is patience, daily effort, financial discipline, action, and prayer. And having a community and having support and having a coach and having a planning guide and things like that that we'll share with you guys that will help you achieve this goal. So how does HabibiCoin CIT, which is the world's first construction investment trust, can help you with short-term turnaround times in terms of investing backed by smart contracts which is built on the Ethereum platform in cryptocurrency and blockchain technology, and backed by real construction work. And so I'll give you a small example. When you're making a real estate investment and you're buying a home, you know, the home has to get built. The construction has to happen. So the first money that goes into a home doesn't go into the fancy door or the fancy, you know, tiles or the nice bathtub or the chandeliers, you know, or the sofa or furniture. The first money that goes into real estate goes into the construction. And so the construction, which is the foundations, the excavation, building the walls and the pillars and the tie beams and columns, the foundation and basically the construction work is the first thing that money goes into when it comes into real estate development. You obviously have to buy the land and you have to own the land to develop on. But after you own the land or you have the land, the construction is where most of the money goes into. And so HabibiCoin has what we call a construction investment trust. Generally, real estate is for the rich and wealthy. It's for people who have a lot of money and they invest into real estate and they own more and more land and build more and more housing and buildings and things like that, and then shops and whatever. And they become more successful financially through that. So for the poor and middle class, real estate is not something that they own, they rent, because they can't afford the big payments. They don't have co-signers, they don't have credit, they don't have loans from the bank that they can take, they don't have good job with high paying salary and things like that to be considered someone who you would lend money to. And so they have to rent and they have to save up for a long time. And they're limited in the investments options that they have because of the limited amount of capital that they have. So with HabibiCoin's construction investment trust, you can invest into a phase of construction. As an example, if you're building a villa here in Dubai, phase 1 would be to excavation, your boundary fence, your site office, your power generator, water supply, you know, doing some excavation work, doing some compaction work, laying the foundations of the structure. That would be considered phase 1. And then there's 5 other phases that you go through to build the home. So with HabibiCoin, you can invest into a phase, a single phase, and generate anywhere from 7.5 to 10% returns in a very short amount of time. Most of these returns are generally for, if someone was getting a 10% return investing into real estate by renting out their home, which they spent a lot of money on, obviously it's still a good investment, but getting 10% returns in 2 months and being able to start with a small amount of money, it actually allows you to generate more money faster. So if I'm getting a 10% return every 2 months, in a 12-month period, I'm making a 60% return. So if I invested $10,000, I would make $6,000 as a return of profit if I was getting 10% every 2 months or 3 months roughly. So anywhere from, if you're getting it every 3 months, it's anywhere from 40% return. And if you're getting it every 2 months, it's up to 60% return. And so it's in small phases, and the payout is every 2 months, 3 months. As the construction phase of that project is done, the client or the bank pays the money and the investor receives their money back. And so having a construction investment trust like this is something that is revolutionary, and it's not an option that everybody has. You know, you can't just walk up to a project that you see construction on and say, I want to invest into this one phase of construction. When you lay the foundation, I want to invest into that and give me some profit out of that. Obviously, the contractor who's building the home is going to say, get lost. You know, this is not an available opportunity for you. And, you know, come back when you have a lot more money. But with HabibiCoin and with the construction trust, we partner with who allow you to invest into the construction phases of their projects that they're doing. And they have the laborers, they have the work, they do the construction, and you get support from HabibiCoin that allows you to partake inside the opportunity, and you generate short-term returns in a very fast time frame, which you can reinvest. When we were talking earlier about compound investing, you know, if I'm reinvesting into the real estate phase, I invest into phase 1, it generates a return of 10%. Then I take my money and I invest into phase 2. And I invest into the 5 phases that it takes to build that home. And I'm making 10% per phase. It puts me in a great position to achieve my goals faster and to be able to invest and achieve my goal of sending my parents to Umrah or paying my debts or whatever it is. So you're absolutely right, Kamrul, that, you know, obviously investing is one thing, but a halal investment, a certified Sharia compliant investment is also another great option. And this is why HabibiCoin is not only allowing you to invest into the construction phases of thousands of projects all over Dubai and the UAE, but also it's a Sharia compliant halal investment backed by sound principles of Islamic finance. And so that's generally how the Construction Investment Trust works. We'll also share with you in the resource guide that we send you on exactly how you can start wherever you are with however much money that you have, even if you're in debt, and learn how you can invest into construction phases and earn an income that will help you send your parents to Umrah and achieve some financial stability and stuff. HabibiCoin's commitment. So I have a commitment for you. We have a commitment from you from here going forward. And our commitment is that we're on a campaign to send 1,000 parents to Umrah. Each person that joins our community, we're going to be giving them $25 in terms of a booster of Habibi coins for each person in our campaign. We're also going to be providing them with our CIT, our Construction Investment Trust opportunities in Dubai. We're also going to be providing them with a coach. We're also going to be providing with some accountability, because the coach is going to follow up with you, and there will be a community and accountability program. We're also going to provide you with the education, and we're also going to make sure you're an active member of our community. And we'll create a Facebook group for this. It'll be a private Facebook group. You will all get access to it. And inside there, we will push and motivate each other and educate each other and share the opportunities so that each person can create a community effect and actually help each other send their parents to Umrah. And having, you know, a little bit of contribution from us, you know, opportunities to invest into a coach, accountability program, education, a community to support you, inshallah, this equals results. And this achieves the results that you're ultimately trying to achieve. And it achieves our goal of helping you and helping 1,000 parents being sent to Umrah, inshallah. So we will share all of this stuff with you, inshallah, in the ongoing emails that you will receive. Obviously, it's a great opportunity. We'll also share with you our Sharia compliance certificate, our fatwa, so that you can actually see that the fatwa is issued. And you know, we're not just saying these things, but it's actually backed by Islamic scholars, and it's a halal investment opportunity. And you'll receive a lot of support in order for you to send your parents to Umrah. You may not be able to send them. You may be in debt. You may be in financial hard times or struggling financially, and you may not be able to send them in the next year or the next day. But if you make an effort and you follow our plan, then inshallah, you are already on the path to sending your parents for Umrah, and you have all of our support, and we will continue to support you so that you can achieve this goal. It may take a year. It may take 5 years. It may take 10 years. But if you're serious about the goal, and you stick with the program, then inshallah you will achieve the results, and we will support you all the way. You know, this is our commitment. So I wanted to thank each and every single one of you. Jazakallah khair for joining me on this webinar, sticking with me with patience for the technical difficulties that we had, and allowing me to share this information with you, because it is in your best interest and it is in our best interest, because we get a chance to help each other do good deeds and inshallah earn the pleasure of Allah. And, you know, where we're going in the afterlife, in the akhirah, you know, this is our ability to earn good deeds. And this is the currency that is of any value to us in the afterlife. And so the more people we help to achieve these goals, the easier it is. So I'm going to leave you with some simple instructions. And the simple instructions are basically for you to participate and be the 1,000 people inside of our campaign who's going to follow our campaign, and we're going to help you send your parents to Umrah. All you need to do is you send an email to support@habibicoin.io. And it's right here on the screen. You can see it. You can take a picture of it on your phone or whatever you want. It's support@habibicoin.io with the subject line SYPTU, SYPTU. Send your parents to Umrah without the commas. You will be sent a form. Inshallah, you fill in that KYC form when you get an email response, and then inshallah, you fill in that form. We will get you registered for your account with HabibiCoin, and we will deposit $25 in our booster program towards your Send Your Parents to Umrah campaign. And we will give you further instructions on how to join the Send Your Parents to Umrah campaign community and the Facebook page. So when this webinar ends, you will automatically be redirected to a Google form. And after that, you can fill in the form and provide all the details. And whoever fills in the form, inshallah, your name will go into the entry draw that we will pick on July 10th. And whoever wins that, we will personally be sending your parents to Umrah, and we will be paying the expenses to send them there. So all you have to do is follow the instructions. And for those who don't win, there's still a lot of amazing stuff that we put together for you. We'll also be contributing $25 US towards your Umrah campaign, and we'll be supporting you all the way with the community and with the coach and with all the investment opportunities that HabibiCoin will provide through the construction model. So inshallah, I wish you all the best. Jazakallah khair for joining me. If anyone has any questions, please ask them in the chat box now. I'll spend a few minutes doing a question and answer. And then inshallah, we will wrap the webinar up, and we will start to send you the instructions through the email. You can start to fill out the forms. And inshallah, I pray that we all get to see the day where you get to send your parents to Umrah and your parents are pleased with you. And if your parents are pleased with you, then inshallah, Allah will be pleased with you too. And if Allah is pleased with you, then you will earn the highest and best things that you could in this world. And you will inshallah have the best things that you can in the akhirah and in the next life. Inshallah, you will have earned great good deeds, and you will have earned a good place in heaven, inshallah, in paradise. Inshallah. Okay, so there's no real questions. So inshallah, I wish you guys all the best. And I look forward to supporting you on this journey and this campaign together. And inshallah, may we be successful. May we do dua for each other and keep each other in our prayers. And inshallah, I look forward to you sending me a message eventually in the future and saying thank you for your support because my parents are going to Umrah. Inshallah, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters. And inshallah, we will see you soon.